Hey guys, welcome back. Thought I'd put another quick little video up. This time I picked up, thanks to the nature strip shopping, picked up a Electolux lithium 25 with 2-volt power pack. Not sure what's going on with that. Okay, so looking for, there we go, that's what I'm after. Let's give you some deets. All right, so what we've got here is Electolux. Oh, okay, so I think it's a ZB5022. I think that might be the model number, or is it a SIR 252 LIBC? I'm not 100% sure. But either way, I'm going to pull this apart and I'm going to show you what's in there, or how little is in there. We'll see how we go. First thing I'm going to do is break this thing down into its subcomponents, and there's a detachable screw. Sometimes there's a non-detachable, but this one is detachable, which means it comes out. And then, okay, there we go. It pulls apart, and sometimes there's a plug there. Maybe not this time, but yeah, I'll start pulling this apart into smaller sections, and I'll get a bit more detail. Okay, well, this thing kind of very detachable. Let's see, it kind of reminds me of I don't know, space age something there. So there's your cargo container. This thing has still got power. Look at that, turn itself on. All right, apparently there is a battery release here, which I'll go on. Oh, okay, wow. Okay, there we go. So that is probably, that model is probably to do with the battery, the actual battery model. So yeah, 25 2-volt. So that is 25 2 lithium ion. So yeah, I'd say that's probably what that is. But it's a half decent battery. I'm not sure what to do with that one. I'll think about that later. All right, the actual transformer for this one, a tiny little thing, and it pumps out 35 volts at half an amp too. So yeah, modern technology. I don't know how they managed to get all that through there. Don't know if this thing will overheat when it's recharging this, but certainly would, I would think, get warmed up. All right, so I got the rest of the carcass. I'll pull some more apart and I'll show what that looks like. Okay, so as with quite a lot of these handheld portable vacuum sticks, I don't know what else to call them, there's lots and lots of plastic, like massive amounts of plastic. But that's okay, it's recycling week this week coming up. All right, so this particular one, there's an open button here which opens up the where the actual canister was for all the dust collection. Now, once you can pop that off, there's a couple of springs under there. Once you pop that off, you can get to these two, and then that is, yeah, I should have started with those two, because that holds pretty much everything together, and then everything else just clips together. Okay, and now everything is T10. So there you go, everything's T10. This is just from a cheap set from Audi, called Work Zone. And yeah, look, I've got two of these. I've got one in this one in the work shed, and then one in the little workshop inside. Very, very handy. Yeah, you lose them before you break them. So they're medium quality, but yeah, they go well. All right, getting back to this, I'll show you what it all looks like shortly. Okay, so again, more and more plastic. Now I should have mentioned the T10 screws. They're non-tamper-proof type, so they don't have that little pin in the middle. So yeah, just a normal solid T. Oh, there we go, T10. We'll get them all out. There's a few that are tucked away. You just got to actually look at where they're structurally attached and try and guess where they might be. But that's all right. I like a bit of a challenge. But the main challenge is going to be walking around with an armload of plastic and putting in the recycling bin, I think. Okay, that pretty much no real surprises with the rest of the unit. The floor module though, that I managed to let that get in the rain. Of course, it's all the dust and grime and the water, that just, yeah, makes it very, very interesting. The last two screws, again, T10s, they're under these little wheels. I'll see if I can, okay, just a little bit of manipulation on the, there we go, get him out, and yeah, there we go, look. So we've got a metal metal rod with a plastic wheel, and then underneath there is the T10. Oh, hello, got another little friend down here. Oh, all right, let's see if I can just pop you into the garden, and I'll come back in. Okay, so this is probably the reason it was on the nature strip. This part of it turned out to be a power head. By power head, I mean that there's a little motor that actually turns the brushes. That's obviously seen cleaner days, but yeah, it's a nice little motor. I'll put that one aside. Won't be big enough to replace my angle grinder one, but hey, yeah, beggars can't be choosers. I'll put them all in a big tub, and yeah, I'll have that one random one. So one time in my lifetime, someone's going to want one, and I'll go through a tub and find it, go, yes, all that effort of keeping a tub of motors has just paid off. Silly, I know, but hey. All right, so this is the part that got clogged. Right there, you can see it's clogged halfway up the actual flexible, no, I don't know what you got, flexible hose. But yeah, it would only require somebody to pull that out, clean it, put it back in, and you would have a working model again, I'd say. However, is it really worth your time? Now, it's taken me over half an hour, going on 3/4 of an hour now, just to pull all this apart. Mind you, it would have been quicker if I had have used a bit more force and hadn't stopped to videotape it as it went. But hey, it's more about relaxing. Some people put puzzles, jigsaw puzzles together. I like to take puzzles apart. That's what I do to relax, and at the end of it, the hobby pays for itself. The tools that I get are usually paid for by the scrap metal that I get from the scrap dealer's yard. And yeah, I mean, to have a hobby that pays for itself, well, that's you know, that's what we can afford to do that if we so decide. I mean, people want to sell their artwork and whatever, those sculptures, things like that, until it pays for itself. They're usually not recognised until after the artist passed away, which is a shame. But with the hobbies, it's quite an introverted little thing usually, with a bloke in his shed. And I'd like to just say that, hey, anyone out there, I respect what you do. It's just our thing. All right, so that there, as much as I really want to recycle every little bit, that's actually like metal wire in there, inside plastic. And in all honesty, I really do want to pull that all apart, but it's just not worth time and effort. At the end of the day, it's all going to probably end up in the same spot. Unfortunately, most of the council recycling ends up as landfill. However, the metal in there, that's possibly worth taking out, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of work for, I mean, there's no value. There's no real value per se. There's no monetary value. But the fact that you didn't put it in landfill is, you know, that's the one little bit of reward you get out of it. Okay, so now one of the things that I wanted this for was finally got myself another grey sticker to continue on my trophy wall. That's been not been getting much attention lately, so yeah, I'll try and peel that off carefully so it sticks. All right, and I'll finish up in a moment. Okay, just to wrap things up, just an overview, all right, or summary. Yeah, so the little piggyback power supply was actually not a bad one. The main motor for the actual vacuum was actually a half decent 24 volt, and then this little one was from the power head, or the actual floor module. That's not too bad either. Yeah, a few little bits and pieces. That's the main screw I took out first. It actually had a nice nut that was just tucked away in the plastic, and the ribbed belt for obviously just here. And yeah, quite a supply of the actual T10 screws. So yeah, not a bad little haul of those. So I'll probably bag them separately. And then the battery. Well, the battery pack, I was toying up whether to keep it as a unit because it seemed okay, but in reality, the actual cells, these will be 18650s. These are basically what all the Fandangle camping appliances are now using these instead of AA's. They actually store a lot more power. Lithium is quite good at storing power, but it's also quite good at catching on fire when it really goes bad. So yeah, bit of a two-edged sword, but they are very similar to in fact, almost identical to laptop batteries. So most laptop batteries are these, and there's a guy on YouTuber who has actually made his own Tesla walls out of old battery packs. I think he might have bought the actual batteries new, I'm not too sure, but yeah, he's got quite a good tutorial channel. Anyway, so they are they nickel strips? Yeah, they got nickel strips that are, there we go, nickel strips that are spot welded onto there, which is very common. I've actually peeled them off and then filed away any sharp little bits, and they end up being a tiny bit shorter than the standalone cells that you buy at your local electronics store. And sometimes they don't have they don't have a high profile on the positive end, so you can actually go about changing that a few different ways. If you ever want to solder these, low temperature solder only. High temperature solder mucks up the unit and can cause problems. Yeah, so there you go. There's a few in there. These are around about roughly $5 to $8 per cell when you go and buy them individually off the shelf. So second hand, they're worth, between $1 to $3, depending on where you get them from, how you source them, who's selling them. But that's just a monetary value which is hardly ever utilised, because when you're talking about things like this, they're quite common. And if you're running those, then you tend to either buy them new or you tend to actually recover them yourself. All right, so there you go. That was what was that? That was a Electolux vacuum stick. All right, there you go, guys. Just a quick little one, just to give you something different. I'll chuck that one up there, and I will see what I'm going to do next for the next video. Okay, thanks, guys. See ya.